It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Do you need well or pump service for your home, farm, or business? Adams & Sons Pump Service in Canton has the experience and equipment to do the job right. Since 1954, Adams & Sons have offered well drilling, pump repair, water treatment systems, holding tanks, excavation, and drainage work. Plus, quality-built, dependable stainless pumps for all applications. Adams & Sons provides experienced, bonded, and insured professionals serving all of Ohio. Call 855-4MY-WATER or visit adamspumpservice.com.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
The 2026 road to the PIHL Penguins Cup and Division II Championships continues tonight from RMU on Neville Island. The Division II semifinals here on TenbandTV. Good evening, welcome back. Alongside Alex Lyons, Matt Vandriak with you here tonight. Number 1, Morgantown. They come in 17-4 overall. Number 5, Burrell, 13-8 overall. Alex, Burrell, they won the only regular season meeting between these teams 4-3 back on October the 16th. That game was played at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion in Morgantown. Mohawks actually led that game 2-0 after the first, and the Bucks scored 3 times in the second to take a 3-2 lead to the third. Morgantown would tie the game with just under 12 minutes left before Brody Ziegler scored the game-winning goal for Burrell with 5:23 left in regulation. Colton Boda scored twice for the Bucks in the win. Cooper Cox struck twice for the Mohawks in the loss. Seth Mundo, who's in goal tonight for Burrell, stopped 33 of the 36 shots he faced in the win. Xander Bailey stopped 29 of 33 facing the loss. It will not be Bailey tonight, though. We'll see Ryan Lowe in net for the Mohawks. Anyway, Alex, welcome in and welcome aboard as we get into this semifinal round. It's a big matchup. It's a rematch of last year's Division II championship game and also a champ-on-champ matchup as the D2 champion Mohawks take on the inaugural Challenge Cup Buccaneers.
Yeah, as we should be in store for a great matchup here today. You mentioned the first one, 4-3 victory for Burrell. And something you notice coming into this year, the power play, 99 of them for Morgantown this season. They had 8 in the first meeting, 1 for 8 on a power play operating over 34%. Well, that's a big reason because Burrell locks it down. This squad defensively, starting in the cage, 1.8 goals against as a team this year. And, you know, senior defenseman Adam Sheftick, he's been a big reason why since he stepped foot on the ice for Burrell. And that's someone to look at on the back end as this squad, experienced, hungry, and ready for revenge. Mooned up 4-4, 2.65 goals against, 8.67 save. He's going to try to backstop this Burrell squad to upending the defending champs.
Burrell, only the second lower seed to advance in the entire 2026 PIHL playoffs. They beat number 4 Connellsville 2-0 in the quarterfinals. The Bucks found the net in the first and third periods on goals from Ryan Burkett and Jared Wall. Seth Munda posted a shutout, stopping all 19 shots he faced. Morgantown knocked off Deer Lakes 4-1 in the quarters. The Lancers actually led that game 1-0 after the first period before the Mohawks netted 3 in the second period. Cooper Cox, Don Petrucci, a goal and assist each. Morgantown outshot Burrell on the night 42-15. And as you mentioned, it was a different keeper in the opening round. But we'll see Ryan Lowe, who's been the top guy all season long for Morgantown, in net tonight.
Yeah, just one loss on the season, 11-1, 8.55 save with a 3.42 goals against for Ryan Lowe. But maybe that is the bit of the Achilles heel for Morgantown. Not that their tendies have been bad in any means, but you're giving up almost 3.5 goals per game this year. The difference is you're scoring 6. Well, Burrell, they like to lock it down. And you see another dogfight type game where it's a 4-3, 4-2 game, can't count the Bucks out. And if they focus in and find a way to shut down Cooper Cox, easier said than done with 38 goals on the season. Burrell, they're no slouch, and this is not going to be an easy test for the defending champs here tonight.
They talked about this Burrell team. They're led by the duo of Jared Wall and Forrest Baird. Wall had 12 goals, 16 assists, 28 regular season points. Baird had 12 goals, 8 assists, 20 regular season points. But Alex, 5 other Bucks reached double digits in regular season scoring as well, including Ryan Burkett, who tied for the team lead in goals with 12.
Yeah, it's a very well spread out scoring attack and a very experienced lineup. You look at Burkett, he's a senior with 12 goals. Baird, 12 goals, he's a senior. The captain, Taliani, has 10 on the year. Sheftick, a senior. These guys have been here, done that, and then you get some youth like Hadajic, who has 6 goals, 15 points in his freshman season. Plenty of talent and plenty of experience for Burrell, who looks to dethrone Morgantown. But again, Morgantown, you could say the same. Cox, a senior, he's been brilliant. Daphner, a junior, with 24 points. 30 points for the sophomore Helen. Petrucci, a sophomore, with 28. As this squad, you expect special teams, I think, to play a big part in this. Morgantown, lethal. Every period, 30-plus goals, including 46 in the second frame. As it's going to be a question, who gets that early jump, who takes the early lead, and gets the early advantage in this one.
Well, you talked about Cooper Cox. He put up 60 points on the regular season, 38 goals, 22 assists. Behind him, a trio of 30-point getters, regular season scoring-wise. Brooks Nelson, he had 17 goals, 18 assists for 35 points. Cam Smith, 11 goals, 19 assists for 30 points. Cooper Helen, 9 goals, 21 assists for 30 points. 2 other Mohawks also recorded 20-plus regular season points as well.
Morgantown offensive explosion, 6.15 goals per game, 40 in the first, 46 in the second, 38 in the third period. They like to put the puck in the net, as they have just been dominant all year long. And the question is, what's going to prevail? The high-octane offense of the Mohawks or the shutdown defense of this Burrell Buccaneers squad?
Both teams come in hot as well, Alex. The Bucks, they've won 4 of their last 5 games. The Mohawks, they have won 13 games in a row. Their last loss back on November 20th to Connellsville, and that's a game that head coach Rob Rocca said is what flipped the script on the season. They lost 8-1 to Connellsville, and he said the mood of his team changed. National anthem here on the island as we get ready to face off the first of two Division II semifinal matchups here on RMU. Burrell and Morgantown locking it up in the first match. Neshannock and Ringgold, 2 versus 3. They will battle at 9 o'clock. The winners will move on to the Division II championship. That game is Monday night, 8:45 p.m. at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry. Of course, you can watch all of the PIHL Penguins Cup and Division II championships on TenbandTV, your home for the road to the 2026 Penguins Cup playoffs and D2 championships.
And what a time of the year it is, Matt. We have the weather warming up, maybe not today.
For a minute.
The weather warming up. High school basketball playoffs, continue on. Penguin Cup playoffs going on. It is absolutely a great time to be a sports fan, and we'll go right into March Madness as well. Who doesn't love it?
I know I do, Alex. That's why I disappear for 4 days in mid-March, but we'll cover that at another time. The Buccaneers, they are the visitors tonight, the number 5 seed, left to right. They're decked out in the 1967 Penguin throwback style. The powder blue with the white and black. Right to left, the top seed and host Mohawks will move. They are decked out in the home whites with the red and blue trim. Florida Panther-like feel to that uniform. Morgantown led by head coach Rob Ruckus. Assistants Jeff Anderson and Zach Taylor. The Burrell bench boss is Drew Burkett. Assistant coaches tonight Bryce Schuler and Chance Watkins. Sticks down at center red. Cooper Cox. Alex Hadjic. And we're underway. To the right side, we see Cooper Helen bump it in. Cut off at the line by the Bucks. Alex, you mentioned a very transitional style between these two teams. Morgantown, they play what is traditionally known. They're the D2 or open class as it was previously known. The high-scoring 80s kind of fire wagon hockey as Burrell brings it back. Long shot block. Good job to get in front of it there by Cam Smith. But Burrell, they play a much more defensive style, and they showed that in that quarterfinal round where they shut out Connellsville 2-0.
Yeah, get a little grindy, get a little physical out there, and see what you can do.
Here comes Petrucci back the other way down the left side. Good hip check sliding into him there by Jacob Rose. And Petrucci from his knees pushes it behind the net. Centering feed taken away by Jacob Rose. He's going to send this one all the way back to the Morgantown net. Ryan Lowe will handle it there. Push it off to James Robbins. Robbins lead feed tipped in by Cox. Mohawks want to get a line change on as the Buccaneers set up behind their own net. It's Cooper Suman. Chipping it in. Here's Dante Taliani. Taliani drop pass into the circle. Spinning away, there's Baird. Goes to the far side now. Taliani back to the left point. Shot blocked and a defense to offense back the other way. It's Brandon Custer. Custer one-on-one with trailers from the Bucks. Drop pass across the ice. Nobody home. And Burrell ends the potential flurry, but a good forward check there by Morgantown's Justin Daffner forces the puck loose. Bucks back with it, and they will get it out.
I think something else you got to look at here, Matt, early on, Pittsburgh ice home for Burrell, but much more active and lively boards once you get into the playoffs and get to RMU and then UPMC.
Yeah, I noticed that the other night when I was here for the AA semifinals. A lot of bounces. As you said, very active are the boards. And another thing, too, is that the nets tend to be a little bit more friendly coming off the moorings as well. Battle in the corner, coming away with it there is Morgantown. Justin Daffner tries to find an out. Kept in on the right wall by Colton Boda. Around the horn it goes to the far side now. Brandon Custer chips it to the point. Can't get it long. Shot, glove save. And Lowe holds on that left point try from Burrell's Asher Ross.
Yeah, and you can tell it's just a bit of a feeling out process. This time of year, sometimes you get those third matchups like we'll see in the second game, but this is cross-divisional. As, these teams still just trying to get the hang. It's been a while since they've played.
Morgantown, as we mentioned, coming in as the hottest team into the playoffs with that 13-game winning streak. Burrell, they've won 4 of 5, and another point to touch on, Alex, that Burrell had a couple of games they had a forfeit earlier in the season. That 6-point swing is the difference between the Bucks being the 5 seed and being the number 1 overall seed in these playoffs. But at this point in time, with neutral ice, the only thing that's changed is the jersey colors right now.
Yeah, got to beat everyone, be the champs in the end. It doesn't matter where you play them.
Good forecheck here by the Bucks, trying to push it into the zone. There's Jared Wall. Over here around to the near side, Max Snyder sends it ahead. Here comes Cooper Cox. Cox down the left wing, trying to get through the defense. Pocket picked, well defended. Harry Hensel, strong defensive work there for the Bucks.
Going to have to use his teammates as Cox. You saw 3 blue jerseys as soon as Cooper touched the puck, sprint to him. That means 2 Mohawks going to be open every time.
Up the left side, tipped into the zone there by Jackson Seagraves as Morgantown changes lines behind the play. talking to Burrell head coach Drew Burkett before the game. It's one of the things he talked about. The key for this Buccaneers team is to neutralize these big guys who are out there now. Petrucci to the net. Score! Dom Petrucci with the steal. The backhander. And the first tally of the night goes to the Mohawks. Alex, I was just about to make the point. Ryan Burkett said, we can't make mistakes against this top line. And what do we have happen? Giveaway and a Morgantown goal.
Yeah, lucky bounce, get pucks on net, good things happen. Well, that's what Petrucci does. Gets the friendly roll here from RMU, and on the board goes Morgantown in the first. Just like the first meeting, the Mohawks strike.
The Mohawks striking 3 minutes and 14 seconds into this first period, as Dom Petrucci will likely get an unassisted goal. We'll wait for the official announcement, but they don't want to be a... Burrell did not like that prophecy, as I was starting to talk about what Drew Burkett said the team needs to do and not do, and they did what they didn't need to do on that opening shift there. He said the key to this game for the Bucs is to shut down that big Morgantown line, because he feels that his team has an advantage when it comes to depth. This is a Burrell team that's going to roll 4 lines tonight. On the other side of the ice, Alex, Morgantown has a rash of injuries that hit them down the stretch into the playoffs as well. Back to the point. Here come the Bucs back. Lead feed cut off and offsides as Baird was trying to chip it ahead. And we'll take it back to the neutral zone here for the draw. So Morgantown striking quick. Talking to Rob Rockus, the bench boss of the Mohawks. He said that his keys are exactly pretty much the opposite of what Drew Burkett said. We need to keep our big line going. We got to get Cooper Cox going. The rest of the team will follow suit. He also said that the difference between the first game and this game is that Cooper Cox, as we get a chance back for the Bucs, and a wrister there by Ryan Burkett goes into the mesh. Cooper Cox got a game misconduct in the first period after Morgantown took a 2-0 lead, and the Mohawks that night were already without Cooper Helen, so they were down a few of their key players, and the result ended up in Burrell's favor. So he said jokingly, the key tonight is to make sure Cooper Cox doesn't get kicked out.
I think you just need Cooper in the lineup, both the Coopers. And, you know, Cox had 2 before leaving that game. Shows you just how quick he can make an impact.
Brandon Custer bodied up well. Nice job by Asher Ross. Petrucci gets the goal. It's an unassisted tally. Here comes Taliani back the other way, a 2-on-1 developing. Taliani all the way to the net, save made! And the net off the moorings as we get some pushing and shoving after the play. But Ryan Lowe, a big save, and even without the net behind him, Alex, he stopped the rebound as well.
Yeah, Taliani on the left side. Kind of had a double back for the was able to bust down and fend off the pressure, hard take. And then you see that puck come off the moorings. Burkett was there to try to finish it up, but Taliani took the net off in the process. And now an offensive zone draw negated due to that net off the moorings.
Big save by Lowe. He's had a couple here in the early period of this opening period. 1-0 the Mohawks in the lead, unassisted tally by Dom Petrucci, coming 3 minutes and 14 seconds into this first period. Jackson Seagraves up the right side, drops it back. Brooks Nelson rips it back all the way around the horn, comes to the top of the Buck zone, and Thomas Kilgore going to send it up the right side, moving forward as Wall. Wall dumps it behind the Mohawks net. Cam Smith resets there for the home team, and he tries the lead feed at the left side, too far for Petrucci. Length of the rink, icing the call, and a face-off back into the Mohawk zone to our right.
Again, it's size versus speed. Still a lot of skill on that Buccaneer side, but Morgantown, they just have that extra step. When they get the puck on the wings, you see they take off, they get a huge gap, while it's been Burrell struggling to kind of create some space on the offensive side.
Clean face-off win, centering feed, backhander, save made, rebound kept out. As Jacob Rose from that face-off win from Alex Hadalick had 2 chances in tight, but Ryan Lowe there to close the door.
Yeah, Lowe just calm, cool, collected, right on his spot, and no doubt about it, staying tight to the post and keeping it 1-0 in favor of the Mohawks.
Face-off back to the right point. Snyder tries to shoot, blocked down into the right corner. Backhanded behind the net. Centering feed just misses the stick of Hadalick. Back to the point, fed in front, blocked. And now the Mohawks bring it back the other way. Here comes Dom Petrucci. Petrucci 1-on-3 down the right side, finds the puck, slows in the corner. Checked on the play by Hadalick. Comes back to the right point. Cam Smith throwing it towards the net. Puck goes wide over here to the near side. Nelson, the first man there. Petrucci behind the net, tries to center. Doesn't get through. Seagraves has it taken away. Here comes Hadalick back the other way. pushing the puck ahead to Jacob Rose. Bucks need to get onside. And we get a big hit there as Forrest Baird yelled timber on his way in and felled a Mohawk crossing the blue line. Both teams changing behind the play. Petrucci staying out. Centers has a man. It's Cox. Gets around the defense, puts it on the net. And good defensive work there by Aaron Holm, Alex, to make sure you got the stick on there before Cox could turn it over.
Yeah, Holm just staying steady to the process, taking the body of Cooper Cox, who tried to go through the wickets of Holm, slowed it down just enough. And easy pickings in the cage for Munda, the senior keeper.
Petrucci pushing the puck over to the far boards. Harry Hensel for the Bucks wraps it around to the far side down the right wall. Luke Quigley for the Mohawks pitches in and keeps the puck in the Burrell zone. Bucks back the other way, trying to take it coast to coast. Dante Taliani, wrister coming, save made, but not knowing where the rebound was low. Alex, that one pinballed off of his right shoulder, his blocker, and his glove before falling wide of the net. Now Petrucci back the other way.
Just a friendly roll there for Lowe.
Back to the right point. Quigley can't get it through, gets a second chance, backhands it down to the right corner. Morgantown bringing fresh troops on behind the play, so the Bucks will try to get an exit as Cooper Cox brings the forecheck here. Burrell going to send this the length of the rink. Face-off moving back into the visitor zone to our left. Rob Rocca said his team tonight, they need to hustle and bring pressure. He's confident his bunch can do that tonight. Also, like he said, needs to have the team lean on Cooper Cox and make sure his top two lines are soaring here tonight. Drew Burkett also said his team needs to play simple. They're going to roll four lines tonight, so he feels like they have an advantage in the depth. And when asked the question, he did not hesitate or use any coach speak. I said, Coach, is revenge on these guys' minds from last year? He said, absolutely. Boda coming back the other way. In front, just misses the stick of Jared Wall.
A great puck movement, just unable to get a shot away. As this game goes on, I think that's where you're going to see this depth go to advantage for Burrell. 2 versus 4, going to tire out relatively quickly.
And we mentioned a lot of injuries for Morgantown, so their depth will be tested here tonight for sure. Burrell controlling the puck. Drop pass into the circle, looking there for Jared Wall. Wall centering, has a man, shot on, save made, as that was Brody Ziegler taking the pass, but Alex, the pass in his skates, and he couldn't get a clean shot off, had to drag it a bit with him and didn't get what he wanted. Now back the other way, here comes Cam Smith. Leads the charge, tries to come across the rink to Custer, and a great job getting back by Colton Boda. Centering, trying the slot. Brandon Custer fires wide.
Yeah, Boda absolutely on his horse, gets back. Great opportunities at both ends, and we stay 1-0 Mohawks.
Puck won by Smith in the center circle, dumps it back to the Bucks end. Burrell with a fresh line coming on, and Jacob Rose rising wrister going to be fired wide. Into the corner on the left side now, Alex Hadjic and Rose, they're working down there low. Hadjic dumps it down, hustling back into the corner here is Robbins for the Mohawks, trying to find an out, sheds off a check. Rose very active right now as he finds that puck. Dumps it back into the corner. Cooper Cox banging in the bodies that is banging down there. Cox couldn't free it. Snyder able to keep it in, that being Braden Snyder. Cox from his knees gets it out. Cox trying to get it back, but a good read and a good steal. And here comes Forrest Baird back the other way. Wrister on, glove save low, and he holds for the draw.
Yeah, Low at times he's been steady, but just has looked uncomfortable with a couple of those glove saves. You know, he's almost catcher-like. You know, or spring training season, he's getting that in the middle and flipping it down. You got to be careful because you flip that down, lose the handle. Well, that might be in your 5-hole and in the back of your net.
It seemed to me, at least so far, Alex, like Lowe has not had clean control on those shots. We saw the one pinball off him, as you mentioned, 2 glove saves, one that was juggled, and that one, as you mentioned, more of like a first baseman's catch as opposed to gloving it the other way. Burrell dumps in. They're going to be needing to touch up, and I don't think Rosa realizes that, so he's going to step back out. Mohawks set it up the left side, Cooper Cox. Rosa takes it away, finds Taliani. Here comes Dante Taliani, trying to work his way through the defense of the Mohawks. Ryder Baker, he does, centers in front, and just misses Burkett in the slot. Burkett finds the puck on the left wall. Burkett drops it back to the left point. Backhand pass, stolen. Here comes a chance maybe back for Brooks Nelson, but good recovery on the play there by Aaron Holm. Mohawks get onside to enter, as we're almost just over 9 minutes played in this opening period. 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Our only goal of the game came. That was a giveaway and an unassisted tally by Morgantown's Don Petrucci. Pass to the left side. Burkett along the boards. Pocket picked by Cooper Cox. He's going to bring the charge back the other way. 2-on-3. Cox into the zone. Cox drags. Cox looks it over, tries to push it towards the net. Well defended on the play by Burrell's Adam Sheftick. It's one of the guys you talked about, Alex. We talk about D2, we talk about offense, but Adam Sheftick, he's that steady, stay-at-home blue liner that you need to be successful.
Yeah, I remember his freshman year he's been there, he's been a force, he's been known on this Burrell line, kind of goes just about his business, and when you have a player like that, sometimes that's the best thing possible. A defenseman you don't think much about because he just does his job.
Face off in the left wing circle. Bucks win the defensive zone draw, but pushing down the left boards. There's Cooper Helen. Helen comes out, centers, looking for Cox in the slot. Nobody home. Smith from the right point, shot blocked. And now back the other way comes Colton Boda. Boda has a man back to defend. Boda drags. Boda shoots. Good recovery by Max Snyder. And the puck ends up on net and in. Boda got the last stick on it, so the Bucks get one back. A fluky tally, but Burrell will take it. And we're tied at 1 with 7:09 left in the opening period.
Got to be hungry, got to get to the loose puck. Put a puck on net, good things will happen. Lowe has struggled to maintain control. Boda tossed it on, went to the net. That's what you do. As Boda off the boards right to the net and bounces in that little 6-hole. And just like that, it's 1-1. The Bucks on the board.
Talked about the boards being friendly, too. That was a friendly bounce on that missed shot right back to Boda, who I think surprised Lowe by having the puck and tucking it home to tie this one at 1 with 7 minutes left here in period number 1. Bucks with some momentum back the other way. Centering pass there on the good skating try by Hadjic, but he couldn't connect with Rose. And now the Mohawks bringing it back the other way. Here comes Don Petrucci. Petrucci trying to get around everybody down the left side. Petrucci puts it to the net, cut off neatly, though. Good defensive work by Asher Ross. And the keeper, Seth Mundo, will move the puck ahead.
Third goal against Morgantown this year for Boda. Had 2 in the win earlier this year.
Cox from the left circle tries to shoot, blocked. Good job again by the Bucks getting in front of it there, Cooper Suman. So both coaches, I think, Alex, would not be happy with the goals that resulted against their teams so far.
No, and it was the two things we talked about with Morgantown and Lowe struggling on kind of controlling the pucks, but it was all because of a friendly hop off the boards on these lively boards here at RMU.
Burkett, there's the lively boards again. Almost now it looks like the Bucks are trying that as strategy, as Burkett may have intentionally fired that one wide.
Goal scored by number 2.
Yeah, we'll let you go, Austin. It's been a long week. Back the other way.
His first of the playoffs, scored by number 22, Colton Boda.
Rosa bringing it back, drops it back. Taliani to the net, and this one's handled cleanly. Unassisted goal for Boda, so one unassisted tally each way. And that time, Alex, on that point shot from Taliani, you saw Lowe look it in with the glove.
Yeah, and I think we've seen the formula that Burrow now wants to play. Get pucks to the net. No shot is a bad shot. Play the boards, and let's see what happens.
Bucks in the right circle. Snyder from the draw, pushing it towards the net. Going to go wide. Morgantown's Custer lost his stick. Big hit in the corner there. As leaning in for Burrell was the goal getter, Colton Boda. As Austin McLean, our PA announcer, mentioned, the first of the playoffs for Boda. Back to the left point. Shot coming through traffic. Save made as that left point try from Aaron Holm got through. And a good stick save made by Ryan Lowe as the Mohawks are suddenly under siege. Holm from the left point again to redirection, goes just wide.
And Boda camping out in front. If you're Morgantown, got to clear the paint.
Big rip again from the left point. That's 3 shots from Holm. That doesn't get through, and Morgantown content to clear the zone. They need to get some fresh troops out there. Burrell, after getting the tying goal, really has flipped the ice here in this first period. We're under 5 minutes remaining. Icing waved off at center red. And here come the Mohawks back up the left side. Luke Quigley chipping it through the neutral zone. Puck moved ahead here by Jackson Seagraves. Seagraves taking out a good solid body check by Alex Hadjic. Puck ends up in the meshing, and we'll see where they put the draw for this one.
And one thing, I've noticed, Matt, down to our left, every shot, it's been a lot of sticks on pucks in the way. It's been very tough for Morgantown to get a clean shot through here this evening.
Face off in the left wing circle, and another defensive zone draw by Burrell. Another point here so far as the Bucks have been really good on faceoffs in their own end. Up the left side, Braden Snyder.
I know a team in the air that could use some help there.
I agree. Into the left circle. I'm sure we're talking about the same squad who may have worn these blue and powder blue jerseys at one point in their existence.
And may be coming back.
Lead feed up the right side, trying to chip it in, is Cooper Helen. Helen leans into Adam Sheftick in the corner. Sheftick comes away with it. Helen finds it, dropping it back to Seagraves. And then it's going to be Rose back the other way, 2-on-3. Finds his man. Trying to split the defense there was Hadjic. He couldn't do that. Back to the point it comes, trying to set it up. It looked like waiting for the shot. There was Hensel, but his own man got in the way. Hadjic jousting with Seagraves in the right wing boards. Seagraves has it cut off by Hadjic. Kicked ahead here to Cooper Helen. Helen dips it back to the Burrell line, set up here by Cooper Suman. Suman resets, brings it across center red. He's going to try to get around Nelson and can't. Cox takes the puck, battles against Rosa. He's going to chip and chase. Into the left corner, first man there is Asher Ross. And Ross makes the smart play around to the far boards. Pushed back to the net by Petrucci, and Munda will take no chances covering it up.
And since that goal, it has been all Burrell. Morgantown got to find a way, get their legs back under them, start getting some shots on, let that offense go to work.
This is the line to do it. Top line out here right now for the Mohawks, but Burrell wins the faceoff, and they will clear it out. It's going to be slowed down there by the keeper, Lowe, as icing would have been waved off. Petrucci has a hard time getting out as Burkett puts on the pressure. Burkett makes the steal, drops it back. Helen there, though, for the Mohawks. He'll pass it over looking for Robbins on the right side. And cleared back into the Morgantown zone as Burrell goes to a line change. Puck played back through the neutral zone. Snyder dumping it all the way in. Robbins knocked it down. Burkett the first man there, though, for Burrell, trying to spin away from Robbins, but Robbins will play it back to the neutral zone. Fed back to the net. No goal. The Bucks were offsides, and it's waved off. The linesman had his arm up the whole way, and that goal deflected in, but it's not going to count. It was offsides.
But again, I think it still shows that point. Put pucks on net.
You see deep in the two Bucks were across the line before that shot came from outside the zone. But yeah, you make a good point, Alex. Put pucks on net, because that was another one that was reminiscent. We get the delayed offsides to call, but.
And that can do two things for you, obviously, if you're Morgantown and Low. Okay, gives you an opportunity. I just got bailed out, but that can also work against your psyche in the other way. And he's kind of saying, I got to figure things out here.
Yeah, a break for the Mohawks, but a clear offside, so no discussion or another offside here. But you definitely want to, as we showed on replay, have it clear, because you don't want any controversy on the calls, goals waved away or anything like that. And that would have been a really fluky goal for Morgantown to give up there had it counted. Face off here in the neutral zone. Puck comes back to the Bucks, and Snyder floats it back to the neutral zone. Jared Wall brings it down the right side, puts the brakes on. Wall takes it to the corner, now working his way behind the Morgantown net. Spins back here to the right wall, bangs it off to Snyder. Snyder comes back to Wall just outside the circle. Wall sending the puck down low, centering feed, gets past Wall's stick, and back the other way now comes Morgantown's Brendan Custer. Custer taken out! Cue up the AC/DC. He got thunderstruck by Braden Snyder. And another big hit behind the net as Rosa finished his man off. So that was Holm who finished his man off. Wearing the 86, Hines Ward would have been proud of that one. Back behind the Morgantown net. And the Mohawks, since Burrell tied this game, Alex, they've been on their heels.
Yeah, and a big difference is the style of game. You know, physical, strong, and a team that wants to set up and cycle versus a team that's all about the rush, and that's what Morgantown's about, and the big physical play of the Bucks have denied that.
Centering try through the slot, and just missing on that opportunity was Jacob Rose. Been a shooting gallery here. The ice tilted to our right for the second half of this first period, and the Bucks trying to take their first lead of the night. Centering pass coming on block. Good job to get in front of it there by Luke Quigley. Fed back to the net. Rose in front, and he misses his man as Burrell right now buzzing. Morgantown will be happy for this period to end as the Bucks are slowed down entering. Late rush here maybe for the Mohawks. Quigley crosses center red. He'll dump in, and around to the far side it goes. Adam Sheftick. Over here to the near side. Bucks play it back to the neutral zone. Quigley slows it down. Not only, Alex, this is a rematch of last year's D2 championship game, but it's the D2 champions in Morgantown against the inaugural Challenge Cup champions in Burrell, who won the first over East versus West game against Pope John Paul from the East Side last year. 25 ticks left here in this opening period. Back to the left point, Quigley through traffic, blocked. And the Bucks settled in. That one's in the crowd. Keep your heads up. Everybody's okay. Nobody lost any chiclets. That's a good sign.
And the puck already back on the ice. That's good
Any
work
fish
by
and
the
bunch.
fans.
Any fish and bunch tonight. Everybody's still smiling as well because nobody ate the rubber on that one.
No Jack Hughes smiles.
No. Snyder throwing it towards the net. Blocked down. Maybe one last rush here. Hustling back comes Taliani. Taliani slows, drags, has a man, but the pass behind Rosa. Into the corner with 3 seconds left. Rosa double teamed as the horn sounds. And the first period of play in the books. 17 minutes gone by here on the island. Your score in this D2 semifinal matchup after one. Top seed of Morgantown, number 5 Burrell, tied at 1. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching the 2026 PIHL Penguins Cup and D2 playoffs on TenbandTV.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
Hey, it's Aaron Miller, the Pittsburgh mortgage guy, letting you know mortgage rates have dropped, and it might be time to refinance or cash out your equity. I'll run your cost-benefit options to see if it makes sense. Call me, your trusted mortgage advisor.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Back here.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
Back here at the RMU Island Sports Center, period number 2 about to get away in this D2 semifinal round matchup. Number 1 Morgantown, number 5 Burrell, tied at 1 after 1. Alongside Alex Lyons, Matt Vandriak, center ice with you as the 2026 Road to the Penguins Cup and D2 playoffs and championships are on TenbandTV. Alex, a tale of two halves, if you will. Morgantown scored 3 minutes and 14 seconds into the period, had a good early start to this game. Then Burrell got the equalizer and really tilted the ice as Petrucci tries to set up. He got the only Morgantown goal. Team switch sides, right to left. Here comes Hadjic. Shot blocked. Has a good job getting back there by Cam Smith. Baird finds it. Hadjic, good stick check by Baker there. Back the other way, Cooper Cox trying to connect with Helen. Helen spins away from his man. Here comes Cooper Helen. Has Cox with him. Cross ice feed. Petrucci finds it. Denial seems it had to come. Mundo with the huge save.
Absolutely incredible. The big man shows off the athleticism from right to left. The pinball lever flies, and we stay even with 16:04 remaining in the second. Big time look for Morgantown.
Those are the big two coming back, Petrucci and Cox. Munda had to be sharp. So he hadn't seen a lot of action in that latter part of the opening period. As you said, he came post to post, stretching out, getting the left pad on it to keep it out and keep this game tied at 1. Rosa back the other way, trying to work his way around Quigley. Quigley works to the corner, bodies up there. Holm at the left point will keep it in. Holm shoots through traffic, glove save and held by Ryan Lowe. Alex, you have the recap of those first period goals.
Yeah, Petrucci working in 3:14 into the first from the left side, his 11th of the season. Gets the roll, gets a 1-0 lead, but with 9:51 into the period, it was Boda, the friendly hop off the boards through that little 6-hole. tied us up at 1. That's where we stand, but the Bucks buzzing once again.
Home from the faceoff win. Shot deflection goes wide. Morgantown brings it back left to right. Bucks have to touch up to get back on side. Remember, we had that fluky center ice shot, very 1996 Tom Fitzgerald-like, for those of us who remember that fateful night when the Penguins played the not quite so good Florida Panthers back then. That one for the Bucks, or for the Mohawks, luckily was called offsides. For the Penguins, Tom Barrasso still probably thinking about that one. Around to the right side, the Bucks turn it over. Morgantown trying to keep, left point try, Quigley. Down the wall, shot through traffic, deflected in front, good block. Comes back to Robbins at the right point, shoots it back quickly, stick save made by Munda, and the Bucks send it out. Takes a weird bounce off the stanchion, and now Taliani, the first man there. That would have been icing as Taliani gets finished off, but it ends up being a break for the Bucks because Taliani dumps, and Burrell gets the change. Through the neutral zone, puck chipped back to the blue line there where Sheftik returns it back for the Bucks, bouncing puck to the far side. Here comes Boda. Boda spins, dumps it down low. Jared Wall works his way behind the Morgantown net. Wall bringing it out, centers, has a man and just misses the stick of Boda. Shot from the right point, patted aside by Ryan Lowe. It's a good try over there from the right side by Hensel, who's going to dump it back in. Bucks need to touch back up. But Morgantown got that good early rush, and now again Burrell settling in and taking control of the play.
And this physical play that Burrell likes to bring is not easy to compete against with, especially only really running 2 lines right now for Morgantown.
Mohawks dumping it back into the Burrell zone. Hustling after it, there's Harry Hensel. Hensel moves it ahead. Here comes a chance back now for Wall. Wall works down the right side, puts it in front, and the puck redirects wide as he had a man in the slot there, Colton Boda. Petrucci back the other way, trying to go 1-on-2. Tries to work around Sheftik. Nice job by Sheftik to cut him off, then body up. Pushed to the net by Nelson, and the save made by Seth Munda.
Get everything you need to know about the Varsity D2 playoffs in 2026 by visiting the PIHL.
See the replay here. Strong work there by Petrucci. Nelson got it on goal, Alex, but he just couldn't get control of it to get a really good shot there.
Yeah, Burrell's shown a great job at collapsing speed, but Petrucci,
as you speak of him, from the draw, gets it on, absorbed by Munda. We'll face it off again.
got a lot of length to him. So even Sheftik, who tied him up, Petrucci's length kept that play alive. And then, again, he's got Mohawk 2 good opportunities in the last 10.
Face-off won by the Mohawks. Nelson turns, shoots, fires wide. Puck takes an odd bounce to the far side this time. And we see Burrell come out with it. Steal. Nelson, shake and bake, tries to turn it over, can't get it through. Good defense on the play by Burrell's Adam Sheftik, who's very strong on that blue line. Now across the rink it comes. Suman and Baird battle with Nelson. Baird comes away with it. Nelson takes it away. 3-on-2 back the other way. Petrucci looks it over, tries to drag. Great job getting back by Hadjic to break it up. Then Nelson's shot's blocked. Bouncing puck comes to Cox. Right circle. Cox tries to put it in front. Well defended again. Burrell's Cooper Suman gets it. Centering try, and it's covered up with traffic in front by Seth Munda.
And it's right now, which way's the pendulum gonna fall? It was first Mohawk, the early advantage. Then all the momentum went back to the Bucks. While the storm was weather, a goal was called off for offside. And now the Mohawks got some momentum here in the second, looking to get the lead back with another offensive zone draw.
Mohawks win this draw, but they can't keep the puck in. And now hustling back the other way comes Dom Rosa. Rosa rising shot, fought off on a good stop there by Ryan Lowe, who got some blocker and some stick on it. Back and forth we go now as we see Cox hustling back. He'll dump it around the horn. And Cooper Helen, the first man there, back to the point, nobody home. Ryan Ryder Baker, that is, joins the play. Justin Daffner dumps it in. Cox here on the near side. Drops it down low, hustling after. Here's Cooper Helen. He battles 2 Buccaneers, and it's going to be Burrell who comes away with the puck. Puck dumped in. Taliani, the first man there. Steal by Cox. Cox takes it, risks it, and blocked. So Taliani, who gave it away, Alex recovers to get the block.
And now Morgantown, the big difference is they're starting to try to set up instead of just play off the rush.
Burrell comes back. They set up. Long feed to the net, stick to side there by Ryan Lowe. Home from the left point, shot blocked by Cox. Battle in the circle, Bucks come away with it. Burkett behind the net. Burkett has a couple of men in front. Burkett changes direction, brings it back here now to the near boards. Burkett to the point. Sheftick there, keeps it on the blue line. Sheftick tries to shoot, blocked. Good job by Daffner to get in front of it, but Sheftick, good recovery to prevent offense from occurring the other way. Quigley, lead feed. Helen chips it on. Mohawks are offside. Scoop back up there by Burrell. Jared Wall. Custer recovers at the red line. He'll enter the Burrell zone. Both teams trying to get fresh troops on behind the play, and the Bucks get the line change first. This is the period of the long change for both sides as well. Custer makes the steal. Walks it in. Drifts to the left circle. Custer loses his handle on it because Sheftick again playing that stellar defense. Got a stick in there to break the play up.
Yeah, Morgantown, their most lethal in the second period this year. 46 goals, 16 against for the Bucks as a save there by Munda. That's the most they've given up in a single period. So indicative of a good period for Morgantown if they can find a way to solve Munda, which is easier said than done right now.
See Petrucci from the left wall just throwing that one on, and Munda does a little bit of juggling there to hang on to it as Custer.
And I think that got off that neck guard of Munda. Saw that pop up, not like it was absorbed by his chest protector.
And I think that's why he ended up having to make that juggling save. Tried to catch it with the chest protector, but as you mentioned, hit the plastic throat guard instead. Out it comes. Baird brings it across center red. Has a man with him. It's Rosa on the right. Rosa takes the feed. Slot shot goes wide. Bouncing puck behind the net. Baird, the first man there, leaned on heavily behind the net by Morgantown's James Robbins. Bucks set it up. Cross-ice feed. Robbins there. Stolen. Shot back to the net. Actually, that was on the breakup there, Max Snyder. Bucks set up all the way through. Backhander blocked. Forehand shot blocked. Snyder right now is a shot-blocking machine. Custer takes it here on the near boards. Chipping it ahead. Snyder going to try to get some offense now. He's going to be the first man of the puck, but icing the call. That pass was on the wrong side of the red line if you're the Mohawks. Face off back into the home zone to our left, but Morgantown, they needed to change there anyway.
And I think something else to look at here, Matt, as well. 8 power plays in that first meeting for Morgantown. Yet to see a penalty here tonight. Knock on this wood in front of us that stays clean, but that was a big part of that opening game. Burrell was shorthanded 8 times.
Yep, that was the difference in that game too. Face-off win. Down the left side, Asher Ross gets rubbed out as Cam Smith brings some thunder in the corner. Mohawks trying to clear. Puck bounces back to the net, and Lowe has to scoop it up and hold. And that only game between these teams, Alex, Burrell, they had 2 power play chances. They scored on both of them. Morgantown went 1 for 8 on the night. And, of course, as we mentioned, Cooper Cox was given a game misconduct in the first period as this is shot to the net from the faceoff, and the save made by Ryan Lowe on that try by Rosa. But Cox was ejected after the Mohawks had a 2-0 lead, and without Cooper Helen there that night, it was a tough road for the Mohawks to hoe as the Bucks came back and got the 4-3 win. Morgantown looking to break it out here. Jackson Seagraves spins, centers. Here comes Brooks Nelson. Nelson breaks the line. Nelson drags to the circle. Nelson drops it back. Daffner shot, save made. Big rebound, but nobody there for the Mohawks. And hustling back the other way with speed, it's going to be Taliani. Taliani spins in the right circle. Pressure on the play by Seagraves, who forces the puck loose. Taliani wants to get a change as Burrell brings fresh players on behind, and that gives an opportunity here for these guys to get out.
Yeah, the shot handcuffed Munda, but it ended up working as an outlet pass that sprung Burrell back the other way.
Bucks battling at the top of the right point. Back to the neutral zone. Bucks will dump it back in. And hustling after it, there's Cam Smith. Smith working back behind the net, lead feed. Daffner on the wrong side of the red line. I thought he was, but he had to skate across, so the official was closer than I am, and my eyes are terrible anyway. So we'll go with what he said. Icing waved off, but Morgantown does get a change behind the play. Through the center line. Cox trying to find Helen, can't connect. Back to the Morgantown blue line, and that's where Cam Smith with the lead feed at the left side. Petrucci off the bench. Here comes Petrucci looking it over. Tough angle shot. And I'm not sure if Munda got a piece of it or not, but it ends up in the meshing.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a shoulder shrug into the netting. So we'll stay in deep. We'll be an offensive zone draw for Morgantown, who continues to buzz here in this one. I see that kind of ramp up off the left shoulder into the netting right below the hat trick club.
Face off to the right of Burrell goaltender Seth Munda. Petrucci from the draw. Dances down the left wing wall. Can't get around the entire defense. Quickly going to dump it in. Petrucci finds it. Trying to find a way to make an entry. Back to the point. One-time shot. Save made. And the rebound jumps wide as that right point shot was put on by Robbins and fought off by Munda with the blocker. So now it's Munda who's seeing some work. Alex, but he's been equal to the task, including so far our save of the game early in this period when he robbed Petrucci.
Yeah, both goaltenders probably gave up one they'd say they want back, but they've made some 10-bell saves at both ends.
Ebb and flow on this one. Burrell now trying to generate a little bit of momentum. Penalty coming up as a Buck has the stick knocked out of his hand. We'll see our first power play of the night. Morgantown touches up, and that will send Burrell to the man advantage. Alex, we talked about the regular season matchup. Burrell 2 for 2 with the power play. Morgantown went 1 for 8. Burrell's power play in the regular season, converting at a 24.3% rate. Morgantown, pretty strong penalty kill as well. The Mohawks killed at an 81.5% clip.
And 9-11 into the second here, a slashing minor on James Robbins. And let's see, will this kill be able to fend off the Bucks attacker? Will this get the Bucks back on the right ship?
We see Morgantown get a good start there, Alex, a defensive zone draw, and they're able to clear, and that's one area that we've touched on a little bit through the first period. Burrell's been the better face-off team here tonight, too. And you give up those offensive zone draws, especially when you're a man down, you're playing with fire against this Bucks team. Burrell sets it up. Burkett to Baird. Baird, as Rose joins him with Taliani at center red. Baird brings it down, drifts out of the left circle, right along the left wing boards to Burkett at the left point. Burkett back to the left wall, cross-ice pass to the point behind the intended target, and that's a break for the Mohawks as Burrell has to touch back up to get onside. Cooper Suman dumping it back into the Burrell zone. So 50 seconds into this Buccaneer power play, and Morgantown has had a good kill so far.
Lively boards give, lively boards take away for the Bucks there. They just have not been able to get anything going.
Got to come back out again. Setting it up in the neutral zone as we're halfway through this Burrell power play, our first power play try of the night. Over here to the near side, Burkett breaks it across center red. He'll enter the Morgantown zone, no, down the left side. Burkett gets to the circle, spins back again. Burkett looking for a point pass and nobody home because they were changing at the point, so Snyder was late coming in off the bench. Snyder off the left side. Burkett, who's been out here for the whole power play, drag, shoots, save made by Lowe, and he holds. So after a lot of trying to set up, Burkett finally decided to put one on the net.
Yeah, when things aren't going your way, not a bad option. Allow everything to reset. Burkett, he's been kind of quiet in this game. Just drags it through the 5-0, try to get the semi-screen shot. Low solid all the way, but an offensive zone draw with 32 to go on the power play.
6:20 left in the period. Face off in the Morgantown zone to the right of the goaltender. Holm can't keep it in at the point. And that'll give Morgantown a chance to get an exit here as Cam Smith setting up behind the net, and he's going to send it the length of the rink, killing more clock as we're down to the stretch run now of this Burrell power play. Snyder brings it around to the far side. Fans on that attempted exit pass. 5 seconds left on the Robbins penalty, and Nelson makes the steal, dumps, and kills. So Morgantown gets the penalty kill, and we are back to even strength.
First kill of the season against Burrell for the Mohawks. Couldn't come in a better time to keep it even in the semis.
Back the other way come the Bucks. Leading the charge here, it's going to be Jared Wall, and he's picked off by Brooks Nelson. Nelson sending this one too far. Long, slow roll, and the icing waved off. Bucks bring it back here up the left side. Hadjic stood up at the red line by Smith. Four-man scrum ensues in front of the penalty box. And over to the right side, Holm makes the pass over there. Snyder crosses center red, dumps it in. Burrow gets some fresh players on behind the play as Morgantown going to send this one the length of the rink. This time it will be icing, and the face-off back into the home zone to our left.
Both teams have weathered storms. Both teams have made adjustments. And Morgantown on both sides. They've kind of amped up their pressure defensively, and they've started to play more zone-style offense instead of a rush offense, which we saw Morgantown try to do through the first half. of this game so far.
We approach 5 minutes left here in the opening period. Mohawk's going to send this one out again. Will it have the length? It will. So the thing about D2, Alex, these are not pure programs. These are co-op programs and a rematch of last year's D2 championship. Burrell, they are made up of course, the Burrell School District, as well as Valley, Highlands, Riverview, Penn Hills, and Kiski area joining the Burrell co-op, since Kiski did not field their own program this year. Morgantown, that co-op's made up of West Virginia schools, Morgantown, University, and Fairmont Senior High Schools, as well as Albert Gallatin in Fayette County, PA. Face-off won by the Bucks, centering feed, trying to find Burke and nobody home. Kept in. Bucks dropping back now as Morgantown tries to get that lead feed. Petrucci finds it. Petrucci slow, shoots, save made. Munda looking for the rebound, puck still loose, and Morgantown comes away with it. Cooper Cox trying to force it to Petrucci in front, nobody home. Well defended. Taliani right now is stuck like a magnet to Cox. Cross-ice feed in front. Petrucci redirects, sticked aside by Munda. Smith from the point, Pat, save Munda. So we see Seth Munda stepping up big in this second period for the Bucks. Taliani, as you mentioned, the captain of this Burrell team, drags down the right side. Brings it all the way around here to the near side. Taliani goes around the rink, tries to drop it down low. Cox there to take it away for the Mohawks. Pressure on the play. Puck taken back by Burrell, and that's going to be Jared Wall. Morgantown looks for an exit. Petrucci's pocket picked by Taliani. Taliani's been out there for a long time, trying to dump as the Bucks change behind him from the right point, fed towards the net there by Thomas Kilgore. That's going to be wide. Morgantown sets it up, lead pass too far for Cox. Another icing call against the Mohawks. Face off back in the home zone to our left. Also noticed a trend here, Alex, in Morgantown using these icing plays to change lines often as well.
Yeah, Morgantown, again, it's a lot of, we talked about, it's a short bench. So even though icing, maybe the professional level, you're not allowed to do this. Hey, we get stuck. Let's change it, give a little bit of a breather to our guys, and reset with a new group.
Face-off in the Motown zone, won by the Mohawks. And kept in, though, down the left side there by Burrell's Jared Wall. Back to the left point. Asher Ross tries to put it on. Good block by Morgantown's Justin Daffner. Back to the right point. Sets it, rips it, Pat, save made on that try there from Cooper Suman. And a buck fell in front of the net. Morgantown tries that lead feed again, too far, but with the ice getting choppy here late in the second period, the puck will not move far enough for the icing call. Custer and Robbins double up there for the Mohawks. Suman spins back, trying to shake off the chase there by Morgantown's Jonathan Price. Around the horn it goes, kept in on the right wing side, spinning away from the man. The Bucks trying to set up here late in this period, 3 minutes remaining. To the right point, shot on through traffic, wide is Colton Boda, who has the Burrell goal, the tying goal. Fired it wide, and we get a big hit in the corner there as Custer was flattened.
Yeah, and that's one thing that has not changed, the physicality that Burrell's brought to this game. No matter how the ebbs and flows, the heavy hitting has continued.
Burrell has been the more physical team here tonight. Pass up the left side, looking for Nelson, too far. Braden Snyder, the first man there. He'll get it out in front of the Morgantown bench, just on his Ryder Baker, and the Mohawks are offsides. Triple deuces left here on the second period clock. You see the advertisement there for Ken Riggett's Grill 31. That's in Bridgeville, PA. Of course, they're airing the games on television live there tonight, so thanks to everybody there at 31 Bar and Grill in Bridgeville. We will see you guys on Sunday. Kevin Zomansky and Matt Popchuk will be there as we have the PIHL Penguins Cup and D2 Championship Preview Show live from Grill 31 Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Drove right by there on my way up today.
I had the pleasure of being there to host the semifinal preview last Sunday. Many memories of the previous incarnation of what Grill 31 used to be when I lived in that area. I say memories when I say a lot of it I might not remember at the end, but that's a different story. Up the left side, Seagraves slides off the body check there by Snyder.
Memories for somebody.
I remember the beginning. Baird with the lead feed. Hadjic to Rose. 2-on-1 develops. Rose back in front, and Hadjic just can't get the wood down. Kept in. Hadjic to Rose, and he just can't turn it over. From the circle, the shot over on by Home, and it goes wide. So 2 good looks there, Alex, and the passes just past the extended blades of the intended recipients.
Yeah, Burrell's had opportunities, a lot of cross-crease passes, just an inch off, time in, time again. And Burrell easily could have 3 or 4 off of those plays, which has been unable to connect on the passes.
Cam Smith up the far wall. I think if you're Morgantown, you're much happier with your play in the second period than you were in the first. They came out with a flurry, but then were on their heels. More or less the later 2/3 of that period is this centering feed in the slot, push to the net wide. Tough angle try, Lowe closes the door as Burkett tried to push it in off of Rose's follow-up. But I think if you're Morgantown, you're happy because the first period wasn't great. You got the early goal, but after Burrell got it back, Morgantown really fell back. This game, Morgantown has initiated the play in the second period more so.
Yeah, and let me take you back to that offside no goal. We said this could either be a head case shakeup for Lowe or it could be a good reset. Well, it was the reset Morgantown needed since that moment.
We remain tied at 1 with under a minute. Fed to the net. Save made as Taliani got that through with about 3 bodies in front. Lowe may not have seen it, but is able to absorb it and keep it out of the net. Face off again here in the Morgantown zone. Left wing circle to the right of the Mohawks goal. And keeper Ryan Lowe. Draw one by the Bucks, but Petrucci, the man who comes away with it. We'll see if Morgantown, with their big line out here, their top trio, tries to get a rush back, but it's Rosa who makes the steal. Rosa all the way around here to the near side. Rosa, Ross, now to the right side, Seaman through traffic. Save made. Follow-up try. And loose puck right on the paint, and it's covered up, and the whistle sounds. As some tense moments there for the Mohawks late in the second period. Good passing sequence there by Burrell, getting those point-to-point passes on. And again, almost using that friendly bounce to their advantage. Face-off won by Burkett. He pushes it low, trying to center, bodied up on the play by Morgantown's Robbins. Lead feed, too far for Petrucci. Burrell gathers it. Suman, Taliani, 8 seconds left. Taliani breaks the zone, gets around a man. Taliani rising shot, that's off the glass. Into the corner, Rosa the first man there. 1 second left in the period, and the horn sounds to end period number 2. 2 chapters written here on the island, at least one more still to be told. Your score after 2 in this D2 semifinal round matchup. Top seeded Morgantown, number 5 Burrell, tied at 1. We'll be back with some replays and your scoring recap and your third period as well. You are watching the 2026 Road to the Penguins Cup and the Division II PIHL playoffs on TenbandTV.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
I use Book a Limo on all my trips. They have drivers everywhere.
I always feel safe when I travel with their chauffeurs, from hello to goodbye.
Checking rates, booking, and managing clients' reservations online is so easy.
The confirmations, trip reminders, and car status updates are great when I'm on the go.
I want my clients to have the best experience during their trip. That's why I've used Book a Limo for the past 30 years.
What's your destination? Book a limo, any car, anywhere.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Hey Yins guys, just a reminder, Yinzer dogs and Cooler Beer are good food. Whether you're cooking at home or tailgating, grab an original Yinzer dog, go buy some your pierogies and lushkis at Giant Eagle. Yinzer dogs and Cooler Beer, a match made in Pittsburgh.
From horses to hunting, Carhartt to Carolina, 2 wheels or 4. From Timberland Pro to playing in the snow, What do all these people have in common? They shop at Locust Grove Country Shop in Apollo. Call 724-478-1846 or online at locustgrovepa.com.
Creating space. Hewitt turning. Scoring! Marshall Hewitt has won the Penguins Cup championship for the Seneca Valley Raiders with 12:29 to play in triple overtime. And don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Boda around the horn, it goes to the far side now. Brandon Custer chips it to the point, can't get it. Long shot, glove save, and Lowe holds on that left point try. Burkett before the game, it's one of the things he talked about. The key for this Buccaneers team is to neutralize these big guys who are out there now. Petrucci to the net, score! Don Petrucci with the steal, the backhander, and the first tally of the night goes to the Mohawks. Alex, I was just to make the first game and this game is that Cooper Cox, as we get a chance back for the Bucks, and a wrister there by Ryan Burkett goes into the mesh. Cooper Cox got a game. It's an unassisted tally. Here comes Taliani back the other way, a 2-on-1 developing. Taliani all the way to the net, save made, and the net off the moorings as we get some pushing and shoving after the play.
Create some space on the offensive side.
Clean face-off win, centering feed, backhander, save made, rebound kept out as Jacob rose from that face-off win from Alex zone. Bucks back the other way, trying to take it coast to coast. Dante Taliani, wrister coming, save made, but not knowing where the rebound was low. Now back the other way comes Colton Boda. Boda has a man back to defend. Boda drags. Boda shoots. Good recovery by Max Snyder. And the puck ends up on net and in. Boda got the last stick on it, so the Bucks get one back. A fluky tally, but Burrell will take it. And we're tied at 1 with 7:09 left in the opening period. Rosa bringing it back, drops it back. Taliani to the net, and this one's handled cleanly. Back to the neutral zone. Fed back to the net. No goal. The Bucks were offsides, and it's waved off. The linesman had his arm up the whole way, and that goal deflected in, but it's not going to count. It was offsides. Trying to go 1-on-2. Tries to work around Sheftick. Nice job by Sheftick to cut him off, then body up. Pushed to the net by Nelson, and the save made by Seth Munda. Right circle, Cox tries to put it in front. Well defended again. Burrell's Cooper Suman gets it. Centering try, and it's covered up with traffic in front by Seth Munda.
Morgantown, their most lethal in the second period this year. 46 goals, 16 against for the Bucks. As a save there by Munda. That's the most.
Smith with the lead feed at the left side. Petrucci off the bench. Here comes Petrucci looking it over. Tough angle shot. And I'm not sure if Munda got a piece of it or not, but it ends up in the meshing. A little bit of momentum. Penalty coming up as a Buck has the stick knocked out of his hand. We'll see our first power play of the night. Morgantown touches up, and that will send Burrell to the man advantage. Snyder off the left side. Perkin, who's been out here for the whole power play, drags, shoots, save made by Lowe, and he holds. So after a lot of trying to set up, tries to put it on. Good block by Morgantown's Justin Daffner. Back to the right point, sets it, rips it, Pat, save made on that try there from Cooper Suman. Later, 2/3 of that period is this centering feed in the slot, push to the net wide. Tough angle try, Lowe closes the door as Burkett tried to push it in off of Rose's follow-up.
Since that moment.
We remain tied at 1 with under a minute. Fed to the net, save made as Taliani got that through with about 3 bodies in front. Lowe may not have seen it. And loose puck right on the paint and is covered up, and the whistle sounds. As some tense moments there for the Mohawks late in the second period. Good passing.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices, located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
From horses to hunting, Carhartt to Carolina, 2 wheels or 4, from Timberland Pro to playing in the snow. What do all these people have in common? They shop at Locust Grove Country Shop in Apollo. Call 724-478-1846 or online at locustgrovepa.com. From horses to hunting, Carhartt to Carolina, 2 wheels or 4, from Timberland Pro to playing in the snow. What do all these people have in common? They shop at Locust Grove Country Shop in Apollo. Call 724-478-1846 or online at locustgrovepa.com.
Why are so many companies, unions, and organizations across the country choosing the Avia Dental Plan?
Because group plans start at as little as $5 per month, and groups can save 20 to 80% off of high-quality dental care.
Everyone qualifies, and there's no waiting or limits on visits to the dentist.
Call now and save $20, plus get 3 months free.
Call now and you may be able to save $20 and get 3 months free. 1-888-431-CARE or visit aviadental.com.
One field, one coach, one moment. That's all it takes to change a child's future. That's something that I want to be a part of. How about you? I'm Matt Major, Area Director of Ambassadors Football Pittsburgh. Get involved today. Visit us online and join the team.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices, located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Hey, it's Aaron Miller, the Pittsburgh mortgage guy, letting you know mortgage rates have dropped, and it might be time to refinance or cash out your equity. I'll run your cost-benefit options to see if it makes sense. Call me, your trusted mortgage advisor.
Creating space. Hewitt turning. Scoring! Marshall Hewitt has won the Penguins Cup championship for the Seneca Valley Raiders with 12:29 to play in triple overtime. And don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
Back here at the RMU Island Sports Center, getting ready to start period number 3. This D2 semifinal round matchup between top-seeded Morgantown, number 5 Burrell. Tied at 1 after 2 alongside Alex Lyons. Matt Vandriak center ice with you here tonight as the 2026 road to the PIHL Penguins Cup and D2 championships are on TenbandTV. Alex, this game has been a surprisingly low-scoring D2 semifinal, playing right into Burrell's game set.
Yeah, it's what you want if you're the Bucks. And the reason this game has turned into that was the early on physicality by Burrell. Off the rush, Morgantown was getting in the zone and getting thrown into the boards. Hard checking by Burrell. Morgantown had to change up. They had to adjust. We've seen them control more zone time, but a very even period in the last frame. You know, Petrucci, Boda, both struck in the first, no scoring in the second. And the question is, who's going to get that lucky bounce? Who's going to continue to collapse and find that GWG and send their team to the title game?
Tom Petrucci opened the scoring, 3:16 in the opening period. It was an even strength goal off of a giveaway, just kind of tucked the backhander in. And then Colton Boda will get an unassisted tally at the 9:51 mark of the opening period for the Bucks. Another situation there, Alex, where Boda put it to the net. The friendly bounce came back on his stick, and he forced it home. 1-1 the score. Shots on goal. Burrell 15, Morgantown 12. The Bucks 7 in the first, 8 in the second. The Mohawks 5 in the first, 7 in the second. So what do these sides need to do here, Alex, to get this win in period number 3?
Burrell, pucks on net. They've had great support. Morgantown, you got to find a way to continue to control some zone time like you did in that second period. And the man who has the puck is a big reason why he's been the best player on the ice in Petrucci tonight.
Fresh sheet of ice for these sides, right to left. Morgantown moving to start the period. Burrell will defend the opposite way. Robbins from the left point. Point-to-point pass to the right side. Cam Smith through traffic. Save made. Puck still loose, and Burrell the first team there. Smith again fires wide. The Mohawks coming out with a quick buzz here in this third period. Helen fans on the shot, but Robbins keeps it in. All the way around the horn it goes to the right side. Smith chips it down the wall. Cox tries to come back to Robbins. Good stick work there by Burrell's Damarosa.
I think it's important for Morgantown to strike early here. Again, you just got rest for your two lines.
Ask and you shall receive. Dom Petrucci, number 2 on the night. And the Mohawks strike 48 seconds into this third period. Alex, prophetic as Petrucci puts home his second.
12th of the year, and Petrucci, again, fresh legs. You just got a 10-minute break. You've been going line in, line out. What a play. Splitting 2 and picking the far side post. Petrucci puts the Mohawks on the board, trying to sink the Buck ship tonight.
So Petrucci and the Mohawks have 2, and Morgantown strikes 48 seconds into this third period with their big line out there. He made a good analogy there as well. Petrucci's been the best player on the ice for either team tonight, and he's been rewarded for that effort with both Morgantown goals.
And in games that are one-goal games, really close games, normally the team who has the best player on the ice prevails.
Another unassisted goal. So all 3 goals unassisted. Petrucci with 2. Morgantown buzzing. Quigley high shot off the top of the stick, Amunda. Mohawks dump it down low. Asher Ross trying to come here to the near side. Custer trying to force that pass into the slot, working hard there against Ross. Ross tying up Custer, who has his arm up, looking for a call, not going to get it. So the official never raised his. Forrest Barrett across the center red line. Puck chipped into the zone by Hadjic. Burrell's going to change as Morgantown resets here. Custer through the stick of Price. Lead feed up the right side and across center red. Chipped in there by Justin Daffner. Morgantown now going to bring a fresh line on the line behind the play as well. Nelson trying to move it back into the Neshannock zone. Sorry, into the Morgantown zone as I'm thinking about co-ops in the next game. Ziegler dumps it in. Wall gives chase. Good work there by Cam Smith in front of his keeper. Mohawks trying to get it out. Burrell looking for the equalizer. You see Colton Boda around the horn. Morgantown steals. Here comes Cox. Works his way out of his zone. Lead feed up the right side. It's Brooks Nelson. Nelson long shot. That's wide. Off the boards, big bounce. Seagraves the first man there. And back to the point. Snyder fans. Moves it to Seagraves. Back to the neutral zone. And back with it here comes Max Snyder. Snyder dumps it in into the far corner. Adam Sheftick, first man there for the Bucks. Burrell sets up, trying to get it out. Petrucci and Nelson double team it there. Here comes Boda back the other way. 2-on-2. Boda long shot. And it looks like Lowe may have got a piece of it as the puck ends up out of play. Alex, one thing for Morgantown, too, as we mentioned, Burrell definitely has the depth edge, a shorter bench, but it's easier to play ahead when you have a shorter bench than it is when you're trailing.
Yeah, you kind of just have that little bit of extra juice, that little bit of spark. And again, it was those first two periods I think you really had to be concerned about. You got the nice break. These are a bunch of young kids. They're used to doing this.
One of those guys is Cooper Cox. He had 60 regular season points. To Petrucci, tries a third dish over there to Helen. Helen in front. Petrucci looking for the redirect and the hat trick, and he pushes it wide. Burrell back the other way. Lead feet up the right side. Taliani centers, has a man to the net. Save made. Great chance there for Rosa. Stretching out to the right was Ryan Lowe. Bucks now trying to get it back. Taliani can't get the shot off. Good block by Robbins. And now Morgantown trying to bring it back the other way. Good job to get back by Aaron Holm to keep Cox from having an odd man rush back into the Burrell zone.
That was huge. It would have been a 3-on-1 with the big three coming back the other way.
Cox trying to clear to the far side. Good job to pinch in here by Holm. Holm throws it in front, looking for a redirect. Skips past everybody, comes back to the right point. Good hustle by Snyder to keep it in. Dumping it back behind the Morgantown net, James Robbins. Works it to the right side. Robbins bringing it over here to the near wall. Chipping it back is Snyder. And Morgantown will reset in their own end.
Really good answer here by Burrell.
A good shift by Burrell and a couple of good looks. It was that same line that tied it earlier for Burrell that was generating those chances. Cross-ice feed. Comes to the top of the circle. Shot on the net's off as Custer put it on from the top of the circle, but Justin Daffner had already knocked the net off the moorings.
Yeah, we see another one of those cross-rink passes. That was just an inch outside. Both teams have missed on those opportunities so far here tonight.
Be a neutral zone draw. 12:47 left here in the third. Morgantown leads. First and third period goals by Don Petrucci. Burrell sandwiching a Colton Boda goal in the opening period between those. Here come the Bucks back. Hadjic drives strong to the net, puts it in front off the keeper, and looking for that rebound there was Forrest Baird, but he couldn't find it. Self-pass up the right side to Daffner. Zooming the first man back. Gets help on the play there from Hadjic. Off the near board, just going to come all the way back into the Morgantown zone. Hustling after it, there's Baker. Over here to the near side. Breaking it out for the Mohawks there is Jonathan Price. Cross-ice feed. Custer brings it back. Baker tries to take it on the other side of the red line. And it's going to be Rose who dumps it back into the Mohawk zone. 5 minutes gone by here in this third period. Custer 1-on-2. Has a trailer now. Gets it on the stick of his man. The shot put on by Daffner. The door closed by Munda, who needed to make that save to keep it a one-goal game. Back the other way come the Bucks. Long shot there. Blocked. Baird tried to put it on. But the defensive Smith there for the Mohawks. Daffner chips it across center red. Morgantown wants to change behind the play. Burrell also bringing some fresh players on. Up the far side. Bucks setting it up. Wall. Good self-pass. Down the right side, Wall brings it, drags it, pushing it towards the net. Better defense on the play by Morgantown's Max Snyder. Behind the net, coming out with it here is Wall. Has Bode at the right point. Taken away. It's going to be Cooper Cox leading the charge. 3-on-3 back the other way. Pass too far for Seagraves up the right boards. And Burrell going to clear it back into the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass moved ahead here by Max Snyder. Kilgore makes the steal. Snyder gets it back. Tries to lead it on there to Cox. Too far back into the Burrell zone. And we see Aaron Holm work his way around to the far side for the Bucks. Lead feed up the left side. Here comes an opportunity now back for Boda. Boda drags to the right circle. Boda with a good diving play by Snyder, though, to break it up. He had a trailer going to the net. That was Jared Wall. Wall in front, backhander, big save made as Taliani got good wood on that one, but Ryan Lowe got the left pad on it. Point shot by Shefnick, blocker to side by Lowe.
And all of a sudden, those woes, those kind of shaky notes in the early going, it's gone low, steady as they come.
Couple of big stops there by Lowe. Munda's had a couple of big saves as well. These keepers have been very good for their respective sides here tonight. Morgantown with the puck. Centering try, good read, taken away by the Bucks' Aaron Holm. He's going to backhand this one the length of the rink. This will be icing. And the face-off back into the visitor zone to our left as both teams want to get a fresh line out here. As we're almost 7 minutes gone by here in this third period. Winner of this one, Alex, takes on the winner of our second game tonight, Neshannock and Ringgold. D2 championship decided Monday night, March the 16th, 8:45 p.m. at the UPMC Lemieux Complex in Cranberry.
Yeah, no love lost between those two schools. We'll get to see that on full display up next.
2 versus 3 in the bottom half of the bracket. Burrell, one of only 2 lower seeds to advance in this entire 2026 PIHL Penguins Cup bracket.
I know we're not there yet, Matt, but one of the coolest things I've seen, last time those two teams, Neshannock and Ringgold, met in the semifinals, Nathan Bollinger pulled off the Michigan to tie the game. I was actually calling that with Kevin Zemansky, who's right to our right.
PIHL memories, Alex. Kevin and I often have PIHL memories. Glad you could chime in and give us a reminder of PIHL playoff lore past. Of course, Neshannock and Ringgold are the 2 most successful open class teams as well as far as championships go. Rosa's shot blocked. Good job by Robbins to get in front of it. And last year, Morgantown was the first West Virginia school to win a Division II championship since John Marshall did it back in 2011, a game that I called at the Ross Traver Ice Garden before with the old roof. That game was played then.
Morgantown, Ringgold, Neshannock, last 3 champions.
Blocked down there.
Of course, that was the second of 2 straight for Neshannock as well.
Thinking back to 2011 and tying it all together. One of the teams that was represented in that playoff tournament that was, I believe, defeated by John Marshall en route to that was then the Open Cup, because you had a Nailers Cup and a Chiefs Cup champion square off, was the Hollidaysburg team that had former Penguin and current NHLer Sam Lafferty on it. Don't ask me to remember anything important, but I could just throw those things out like it's nothing. Cross ice feed. Back the other way comes Burrell. Down a goal. Drop pass, nobody home. And here comes Daffner back the other way, 2-on-2. Daffner has Price with him. Soft shot to the net wide. Custer, the first man there for the Mohawks. He's bodied up as he tries to chip it down low. Linesman Refton got an inverted pick. Centering feed looking for Price. Well defended on the play there by Morgantown, or by Burrell. Back the other way, shot on by Hadjic, and the save made. But good defensive work by Forrest Baird to prevent that Morgantown scoring chance for Jonathan Price.
Yeah, Burrell got to lock it down here. Cannot afford to give up another goal in this hockey game. Got to find a way to keep pursuing. You know, that's what, when Burrell was successful, is the constant pursuit, the constant pressure, and the second chance opportunities.
Shots 4-3 so far here in this third period in favor of the Bucks. Centering feed, nobody home there. Game totals 19 for the Buccaneers, 15 for the Mohawks. And we get a whistle here. But the stat that counts most, Alex, 2 on the board for the Mohawks, 1 for the Bucks, who are trying to avenge last season's D2 championship loss to this Morgantown team. Of course, Burrell would get the opportunity to represent the PIHL in the first ever Challenge Cup. Morgantown being obviously a co-op and mostly West Virginia schools, they were ineligible for a Pennsylvania state title. So Burrell repped well as they moved on to defeat Pope John Paul in that first win. Shot on, save made there. Smith brought it back, targeting the 5. Holomunda closes the door.
Now, when you're running 4 lines with Burrell. Obviously, you wonder if the bench does shorten, but you want quick shifts. Go out, give it all you got, get to the bench, get the next line, and try to take advantage with that extra energy.
Cox from the faceoff tries the wraparound. It's off a Burrell skate, and Munda takes no chances, putting the mitt down and covering it up.
And that's something, Burrell's done a really good job on Cooper Cox here tonight.
Yeah, Cox he's had a couple of, he's been visible, Alex, through the neutral zone, but he's not had much to work with once he gets on that Burrell end. From the left point, Snyder's shot, patted aside by Munda.
But I think that speaks of how he's playing. He's being very unselfish tonight, realizes they're focusing in on him. I'm going to let my teammates feed like Petrucci.
Snyder matching up with Rosa. And those guys are actually stuck together. And they are able to get them disconnected. And we'll do the neutral zone face-off here with 7:46 left here in regulation. As we mentioned, Burrell won the regular season meeting, the only one between these teams way back on October 16th, 4-3 at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion in Morgantown. What a wonderful new hockey facility that is in Morgantown. My alma mater, of course, WVU in Morgantown. And the first college hockey game I ever called was at the old Morgantown Municipal Ice Rink in 1994. Petrucci back the other way, has Cox with him. Petrucci to Cox, save made, Munda keeps the Bucks deficit 1 with a big save there.
The best two to do it for the Mohawks, and Munda did not blink. Shut the door and kept the Bucks alive.
Petrucci drives strong, tries to tuck it in. Munda keeps it out. Cox can't get the follow-up. Third try. Munda rises up to make another save.
Remember that sequence. If Burrell comes back, Munda, not once, not twice, about 4 or 5 times, just staying square, staying set, staying steady, and keeping it 2-1, the 2-on-1. Great feed, Petrucci. Munda stayed with it, stayed
Close
square.
the door. Got a timeout on the ice here. I'm not sure who took this one.
And, Munda.
Burrell going to take it.
Munda, just with that size, sometimes not as.
He's a big keeper.
Not as agile, but he takes up so much of the net and just was able to calmly slide over. Didn't have to overextend himself because he knows, hey, I'm big enough. I'm going to get there, stay within myself, don't open up. And that was a big reason that stayed out. Cox did an amazing job dragging that around, getting the pass over, and then just sliding over and keeping it out with the blocker.
See you on the screen, 1 p.m. Sunday, March 15th, the PIHL Penguins Cup and Division II Championship Preview Show. Come and join us in person. Matt Popchak and Kevin Zomansky will break down all 4 championship games. 31 Sports Bar and Grill in Bridgeville, owned by former Penguin goaltender Kenny Riggett. We will be there Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock, to talk about all of your PIHL Penguins Cup championships. And, of course, thanks to 31 Sports Bar and Grill for airing all of these semifinal round games as well.
And it's better in person because you can go get a bite to eat there while you're in there in person.
Very good bite to eat. I ate there on Sunday. You also, when you walk in, Alex, get to see a legendary picture of Francois Leroux squaring up with Tony Twist before Frankie beat him bloody in 95. From the face-off, good opportunity there as Helen walked it in front, but he couldn't get the shot through. Lots of good Penguins memories at 31 Sports Bar and Grill. I observed a lot of it. Turning shot from the right wall, fired wide by Cooper Helen. So Burrell used the timeout there to try to more or less get this set. What they want to do here in this last third of this third period.
I think a really smart timeout after just a huge sequence for Morgantown went by the wayside.
Here comes a chance now. Helen down the left side, 1-on-2. Great job to get back there by Burrell's Forrest Baird. Here comes the Bucks, setting it up. Baird, lead feed up the right side. Jacob Rose chips it in. He was on the right side of the red for the Bucks. He'll also be the first man to the puck. Lost an edge to the right side. Trying to work around a man. There's Hadjic. Hadjic back to Suman. Point-to-point pass. Shot through traffic to flex wide. Centering feed. And covering it up is Lowe. He'll take no chances on that one as a couple of Bucks were camped out in front.
Yeah, and I cannot continue to speak, or I have to continue to speak about this, but I am so impressed with the recovery of Ryan Lowe here in this game. He just looks so out of sorts so early, and then he gave up the long-range goals, clearly offside. I mean, right call, absolutely no doubt about it. But that can be a real backbreaker for a goalie's confidence, and it strengthened it.
Yeah, that was, as you said, a make-or-break point for Lowe, and he has made it, as he stopped everything since. And the score remains 2-1 as we get down to 5:40 left here. Puck goes out of play. So Burrell using that timeout, Alex. I think one thing that, if you're Drew Burkett, you're happy because this has been your game. You've played your game tonight. You've neutralized this Morgantown offense. But trailing by a goal at some point, you're going to have to attack, and that's going to give the Mohawks a chance maybe to come back the other way.
Yeah, when Burrell opens up, that's going to give more room for Morgantown. But the question is, how aggressive are the Mohawks going to be in just a one-goal game with the spot in the championship on the line?
5:39 left here in this third period. Neutral zone draw. Price had for a second, but it's going to be Taliani who brings it back down the right side. Taliani wrapping all the way around. Burkett camped out in front. Taliani looking to go to the left point, but the pass too far. It'll go all the way back to the Bucks net, where Seth Munda will drop it down. Adam Sheftick breaks it out. Getting in front of it, though, was Price. Over to the far side it goes. Cam Smith through the neutral zone. Rose makes the steal. Back into the Bucks zone. And now Sheftick back the other way. Taliani leads the charge. Tries the drop pass. Price was the first man there, but the Bucks were offside.
That's too much movement in the neutral zone. Get in, set up, get pucks in the net, get bodies in front. It's not going to be a pretty goal. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be grindy. You got to get in front, jam away, find the loose puck, and find a way to put it by Low. That's going to be the way you tie it if you're Burrell.
Under 5 left here in regulation. Again, the winner takes on the winner of our second game tonight, Neshannock and Ringgold. The championship game Monday evening, 8:45 p.m. at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, the second of 2 that night. Nice pass there, but Suman had to take it on the backhand, Alex. If that was on the tape, he set up for a great wrist shot opportunity in that right circle.
And you had bodies in front.
Lead pass just chipped out here by Seagraves. Burrell brings it back into the Morgantown zone. Cooper Cox leaned into by Boda. As Burrell's the first team to the puck. Cox and Boda exchange pleasantries. And I think they both might be going.
Just our second and third penalty of the game.
Literally just going to say that. Now, it's been a clean game with only one penalty in the entirety of it. And I think if you're Burrell, you'll take this exchange, getting Cooper Cox off the ice for 2 minutes late in this third period.
Yeah, a lot of speed in the box. Boda, though, has 3 goals this year against Morgantown, including the lone goal tonight.
Each man getting a coincidental roughing minor in the PIHL under USA hockey rules. Of course, we play 5-on-5. Coincidental penalties do not affect play on the ice. So Petrucci at center red, over to Helen. Nelson out there to take Cox's spot on this top line. Around to the far side, Snyder tries to chip it up, kept in. Good job by Hadjic, who then Snyder flattens in the circle. Centering try-steal. Petrucci 2-on-2 back the other way. Petrucci down the left side, slides off the hip check attempt. Petrucci, the second man there to take it away. Good defense by Asher Ross. From the point, G-Love, glove save Munda, as Morgantown had a good look there from Max Snyder.
Yeah, Snyder snuck it through. Munda says no once again, finding a way.
Who are those handsome fellas?
Now we just lost a bunch of viewers, Matt.
Yeah, Alex, there's the old saying's a face for radio, and what can we do? On radio, we're still what the people want, though.
That's right. Got to give the people what they want here on a Thursday night.
Absolutely. Morgantown wants this clock to move fast in this last 3:35. While Burrell, at what point, Alex, if you're Drew Burkett, do you think about getting that extra attacker on?
I think around the 1:30 mark, maybe a little later, but it's going to be no earlier, I think, than 1:30.
Nelson, soft backhander from the circle, patted aside by Seth Munda.
Barring another penalty, you get a power play, I pull the keeper right away.
Cox and Boda will be back on with 2:17 left in regulation as well, as 3:11 remains here, both in the game. And we roll down here, and right now Morgantown feels so good. Burrell, on the other hand, they're down. And we got a whistle here in the corner. Players on top of the puck, equipment all over the place.
And here's the thing, too, with this, offsetting roughing minors, Matt. once we get them back on the ice, Cox is probably not coming off the ice for the rest of the game, and he's going to be fresh after a 2+ minute break.
Yeah, he gets the big break, and he could skate for 2:17. Losing his helmet on the play there was Dante Taliani, so he's going to go over to the bench to get an equipment reset. And maybe if you're Rob Rockus, Alex, maybe you think about using your timeout at some point here as well, just to get your team a chance to get a breather and be able to put that set up for what's probably going to be a final storm, a final rush from Burrell.
Yeah, Bucks aren't going to go down without a fight here. They are going to give everything they have. They're going to throw everything at the wall and try to solve the puzzle that is Ryan Lowe.
Face-off won by the Bucks. They'll dump in. Adam Sheftick all the way around the horn. First man there is Ziegler. Ziegler bodied up good. Check thrown there by Custer, and he moves it ahead now to Daffner. Daffner 2-on-3. Has a trailer. Price drags to the right circle, but is countered there on the play by another good defensive play by Adam Sheftick. 2:35 left in regulation. Puck comes out of the zone. Morgantown sets it up. Daffner gets tied up with Ziegler. Daffner sends it back to the Motown zone. Daffner again just going to, from the right side of the red line for Morgantown, dump it in. Triple deuces left here in this third period. Robbins makes the steal in the circle. Robbins over to Daffner. Daffner breaks the zone. Daffner sends it across the ice. Daffner gets it back on the pass from Custer. Daffner tries the center, and Munda wise there to cover and hold, but a break for Morgantown because you get the offensive zone draw. And both Cox and Boda are back.
Now it officially becomes goaltender watch time for Burrell. 2:09 remaining. I think anytime under 2 minutes, again, I think it's going to be closer to the 1:30 mark, but you start getting zone time, and if you start getting set up around 1:45, would not be surprised if he heads to the bench.
Petrucci gloves it down. Petrucci has both Morgantown goals, gets a good wrister from the circle, trying to tuck it into the near post, and a nice job by Munda to hug the iron and keep it out.
And obviously you want to do everything you can to prevent them from pulling their keeper.
That's one way to do it, get shots on and force them to hold the rebound. As the big line out here for Morgantown, as you said, Alex, they'll probably be out for the rest of the night. Snyder's shot blocked. Good job by Hadachik to get in front of it. Suman tries to move it up. Quigley cuts it off. Quigley turns it back. And they right now have Burrell bottled up as we're under 2 minutes left here in regulation.
That could have been a 3-on-1 back the other way if it wasn't for the Quigley.
Look at Petrucci. From center red, brings it back. Petrucci, tough angle try again. Save made. And Munda stretching out, diving to cover that rebound with Cox bearing down.
And this is perfect for Morgantown. They're getting opportunities, and they're getting forced covers. And that's just giving more and more time for that top line to get quick 30-second breathers here and there and allowing them to stay on the ice.
Face off in the left wing circle. Cox wins the draw. Back to Petrucci. Petrucci spins. Petrucci from the circle to the net. Gloved again by Munda. And I'm not sure if in front of the net Helen got a piece of it or not. But Morgantown, Alex, they are playing this to perfection right now.
Yeah, and the big thing is winning face-offs. That's something Burrell's been great at. But here, winning some big offensive zone draws, killing more clock.
Another face-off win. Cox to Petrucci. Petrucci just muscling his way down. Finds Cox in the circle. Cox through a double team, taken away. Suman brings the charge back. We'll keep an eye on the net to the left to see when Munda's called to the bench. Pushed back to the Morgantown net, and Ryan Lowe takes no chances. He covers and holds with 1:21 left here in regulation. And you see Munda out between the circles now just waiting for that signal.
Yeah, face-off win. He's right to the bench. You know, he's getting all the orders. They want this to be perfect. So face-off win, Munda right to the bench, 1:21 right around when we were looking. But Morgantown in this third period, incredible in the dot.
Petrucci tried to push it out, thrown back to the net by Taliani. Pad save made by Lowe. Burrell sets up, 70 seconds left in regulation. Cox makes the steal. He's going to lead the charge back. Cooper Cox brings it through the center circle. Cox has Petrucci on his left. Cox takes it in, drops it to Petrucci. Petrucci through traffic, fired by. Final wide that is, in the final 60 seconds. Helen to the point. Comes to the left point now. Snyder looks it over, shoots through traffic, kicked away. Good job there by Sheftick, the steady defensive presence as he's been all season. Not getting away with the skate. Morgantown, though, great forecheck here, killing valuable clock. Lead feed up the left side. Taliani, the Burrell captain. He'll bring it back across center red. Taliani at the left side. Net to our left is now empty. Burrell with the extra attacker on with 34 seconds left. Battle here in the right corner. Cox trying to work through a double team. Spinning away is home. Snyder at the right point. Goes to the left side. Setting it up there. Suman skates around everybody. Suman takes it low, and it's in! Burrell gets the equalizer with 18.6 seconds left in regulation. I think Jared Wall may have been the last man to touch it, but the Bucks tie it late.
Heartbreak hero. I said it wasn't going to be pretty. It was gritty. And it was the junior, Jared Wall, camped out in front. Suman works it in, perfect feed, and just a little redirect by Wall. He says we're not done. Heartbreak for the Mohawks here with the extra attacker on.
18.6 seconds left in regulation. Jared Wall, who was the leading point getter for Burrell all season long, had been quiet tonight, Alex, but shouts the loudest. 18.6 seconds left. And now we'll see how the momentum changes here as we're looking at overtime. Taliani got the assist, along with Burkett.
Hey, say it was Suman.
I was going to say Burkett was not. Yeah, I can agree with Taliani. Suman was the other. Regardless, bonus hockey on tap for you here at RMU in the D2 semifinals. Regulation not enough. We're heading to overtime when we come back. Burrell and Morgantown tied at 2. You're watching the 2026 PIHL Penguins Cup and D2 playoffs here on TenbandTV.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
Back here at the RMU Island Sports Center, overtime in the first game of the D2 semifinals. Morgantown and Burrell tied at 2. Matt Vandriak, Alex Lyons with you here on TenbandTV. Alex, Morgantown 18.6 seconds away from returning to the finals, but Burrell has other ideas.
How about this? Morgantown strikes in the first minute of the period. Burrell strikes in the last minute. And it just took a little tap as it was laid on a platter. We've talked about it, Matt, all night. Burrell's had those opportunities. Suman working in from the left side. Suman right in front, just the tap. And just what they need in the nick of time. Suman to Wall. But they've missed on that pass all night long. And this time it connects in the clutch. Just what the doctor ordered. A gritty, gutsy goal for the Burrell Buccaneers to tie it at 2.
So overtime, here we come. Overtime in the high school hockey playoffs works like this. 17 minutes on the clock. First goal will be the golden goal. Each team gets a timeout to use in this period. If we don't have a winner through 17 minutes, we'll reset the clock and go 17 more.
So we're looking for, take your pick, your Megan Keller, your Jack Hughes. Who's playing hero tonight?
We will see. Burrell snatching victory from the jaws of defeat while Morgantown so close. But just
and now they have all the momentum.
Team switch sides, and here comes Burrell to start it off. Baird, shot on, fired wide. Rose the first man too, and you see that momentum now. Alex just jumping the buck steps. Down low, Rose. Tries to center, looking to try to set up the guy who get the game-tying goal, Jared Wall. Morgantown brings it back. Cross-ice feed. Helen going to try to pass to himself, and Munda takes no chances putting the glove down. One thing about overtime on any level, you don't need a fancy play to win it. Sometimes the most unexpected shot is the one that ends up being the game-winning goal. There is no such thing as a bad shot in the extra period.
Nope, we've seen gritty goals all night long. Why not one more?
Face-off one, centering try by Petrucci, banging away to tell it. And it is kept out. Long time there. Munda got that right pad back, much to the chagrin of Morgantown.
Morgantown was ready to explode as they're jumping the Captain Cox.
Can't tell there. Looks like it was under the right pad of Munda. And the official behind the net had a good look at it.
Disagreements on both ends, both parties.
As expected. That was not in. The replay was inconclusive, so we can't tell you for sure, but the officials had a much better look at it, and it looked like Munda had that long right leg on top of that puck. Taliani brings it back. Long shot off the glass and wide. Setting it up to the right point. And a chance back now for Morgantown. Petrucci leads an odd man rush. Petrucci drags, and a great defensive job by Suman getting back. Petrucci finds it, centers. Munda, a huge save there. Helen had a great look, and Munda stops him again. Taliani back for Burrell. Long shot from the right boards, and the save made by Lowe.
Suman, a big reason this game's tied, and a big reason this game's not over. Both in regulation and now in overtime. Hustling back on the back check. No give up for Suman.
There's that chance again. The puck actually, I was looking, it was on the outside of the post. Looks like it was on the outside, and Munda able to keep it out. So that was a replay of that, what we thought may have been, what Morgantown at least thought was the game-winning goal. Daphner bringing it back. Down the right side, Daphner trying to work it around. Daphner back to the point. Quigley through traffic, blocked. Rose, lead feed, can't connect with the man who blocked the shot, Hadjic. Daphner dumps back into the Burrell zone. Bucks there first. Off the far side, too far. Icing against Burrell, that'll be a break for Morgantown. One other thing, Alex, you mentioned late in that third period was how much better on the face-off Morgantown had been. We'll see what happens here in overtime because Burrell had dominated in the dot most of the night.
Yeah, it was time and time again late in the game. You thought maybe that was going to be the difference for Morgantown because all of a sudden they started winning draws and it was taking opportunities away from the Bucks. Now a big offensive zone draw here with a chance to set up an OT.
And there's a defensive zone draw win for the Bucks. And Burrell sets it up. Taliani chips it through the neutral zone. Smith brings it back. Puck bounces off a few bodies here. Burkett trying to get away from Nelson. He's pressed on the play, but he's able to move it up the boards. Chip back into the Burrell zone. Snyder and the Mohawks bring it out. Taliani steals at center circle. Taliani gets around his own man as well as Petrucci as he breaks the Morgantown zone. Taliani double teamed over there. First man there is Cooper Cox for the Mohawks, and he will take it away. Back through the neutral zone. Holm is going to dump it in all the way around to the far side. Max Snyder sets up behind the Morgantown net over here now to the near side. Cam Smith back to Nelson. Pressure put on there by Baird. Back to the right side, and there's Wall. Wall and Baird. Top 2 point getters back to the right point. Shot through traffic, blocked. Mohawks don't know where the puck's at, though. And a good job by Sheftick to force it down the boards. Morgantown have a tough time getting it out. Snyder back to Nelson. Nelson brings it across center red, trying to maybe get a dump and change here. Burrell going to bring it back the other way. Here comes Forrest Baird, 2-on-3. Baird lost his edge, and he ends up offsides because of it. The longer this game goes, Alex, the more in favor it is of Burrell with that deeper bench as well.
Yeah, and you can just see it. I mean, it's clear as day looking across the pond. Full bench on one side, and it's sparse, especially in the midst of a change on the other.
Neutral zone face-off here. Wall and Price with the sticks down for their respective teams. Price wins the draw. Daffner bangs it back near center red. Burrell puts it back in, but the Bucks were across the line, and we'll draw it up in the neutral zone again. Face-off won by the Bucks, but Rose again offside is Burrell. Shots through regulation, 26-22 in favor of Morgantown as Morgantown doubled up Burrell, 14-7 in shots in that third period. Each team with a shot apiece here in the extra frame so far.
We've only had one power play, again, either side in this game as well.
Very early on in the first period. And now Burrell trying to set it up. Hadjic to the circle. Good defense to get back there by Daffner. Behind the net, Rose. Good body check thrown out by Price. Rose going to try to bring it back the other way. Double teamed on the play. Quigley and Price working hard there for the Mohawks. And Jonathan Price comes away with it. Chipped ahead here by Daffner. Stolen away. Breaking into the zone. Snyder. And he's going to draw a penalty. So Burrell will get their second power play try of the game, this time in overtime.
Yeah, great move by Snyder, working in, and just a little hooking sequence, and just like that, Bucks to the power play.
These will be the longest 2 minutes of James Robbins' young life.
2 or less.
Tripping the call. And Alex, you see that a part of the reason, the penalty was called and why Robbins had to commit the foul, because that was a long shift for Morgantown and their legs might be a little bit heavy. Suman, point-to-point pass. Right try, blocked, loose puck in front. Nobody knows where it is, in front. Huge save, a season saver by Ryan Lowe. Suman loses it. Petrucci coming back the other way. Great job by Suman to take it away and then push Petrucci into the bench. Here comes Rose to Baird. One-timer, blocker, save made. Follow-up try, Rose's backhander goes wide. And now Petrucci shorthanded, back the other way. Petrucci drags it across center red. Petrucci going coast to coast. Petrucci gets around another check, but the last line of defense, Suman takes it away. 45 seconds gone by in this Burrell power play. The Bucks having a much better power play than they did early in this game. Wall, who tied the game late, with speed, drives back. Wall all the way around. Has Burkett at the top of the circle. He'll put it that way. Burkett looks it over. Going to dump it down low. All the way around to the far side there. Hadjic the first man to the puck. But the defense of Morgantown, strong play there as Cam Smith gets the clear. Under a minute now left here in this Burrell power play as we approach 12 minutes remaining in this first overtime period. Burkett across center red. Onside, wrister blocked. Nelson with the block and the clear. And the Mohawks killing valuable clock down to 35 seconds now remaining on this Burrell power play. In the corner they battle. Cox and Helen out there. Dangerous pass there. Helen takes it. Short-handed. Cooper Helen down the right side. Helen, tough angle shot. Left pad save made by Seth Munda. Good forecheck here by Helen, short-handed. 10 seconds remain in the Robbins penalty. Referee says play on. 3-man scrub behind the Burrell net. And Burrell comes away with the puck as we tick down the final couple seconds of this power play. Going to dump it in there is Jacob Rose. Morgantown gets the kill. Robbins heading straight to the bench. And we are back to even strength. Bucks win the puck, though. Holm steps into a shot through traffic. It goes wide. To the right point, Taliani fires it back around here to the near side. Doesn't go through. Morgantown sets up. Lead feed intended for Helen too far. Icing the call against the Mohawks, but they'll take it to be able to get a fresh line out there. Big kill, though, for Morgantown.
Yeah, huge. Petrucci started it, being relentless on the pressure. Morgantown twice thought he drew a penalty, then Helen killing off about the last 10 seconds down below the goal line. And now see if that sparks the Mohawks into a championship berth.
Face-off in the Morgantown zone to our left after the icing. 10:51 left here in this first overtime period. Burrell getting the game-tying goal from Jared Wall with 18.6 seconds left in regulation. And here we go, face off in the left wing circle to the right of the Morgantown goal. And keeper Ryan Lowe, who had that huge save to keep the Mohawks season alive. Taliani takes it strong to the net, but can't get it through. Home from the point. Redirects through traffic. Save made. Rebound score! Jacob Rose, the game-winning goal in overtime. The Burrell Bucks get revenge. They defeat Morgantown in the semifinals, and the Bucks are on their way to the 2026 Division II Championship next Monday night in Cranberry. Alex Brett Michaels said it best. Every rose has its thorn, and this time, Morgantown feels the sting.
Defending no more. And, you know, I love what we just saw as Munda. Absolutely incredible, but he went right down and consoled Ryan Lowe, who played a brilliant game as well. But it was great patience, hesitation. Aaron Holm at the left side point, held on, drug, created the lane, found the back of the net, did Rose on the rebound as Baird shaken up on the ice.
Yeah, Baird, I think, got hurt in the celebration, so hopefully he's going to be okay. But, Alex, we take it back here. Morgantown was 18.6 seconds away from punching their ticket to the D2 championship and an opportunity to defend their title when Burrell would get it back. Jared Wall set up from Cooper Seaman, and that would take it to overtime. And then 5 minutes and 20 seconds into OT, here's your game-winning goal.
Yeah, Holm finds the lane, and it was deflected on the way in by Baird. Rose picked up the rebound and backhanded it in. So Holm found the lane, then Baird got a piece of it, and luckily he's back up skating, and that's great to see. Rose, forehand, backhand, put it upstairs where Grandma keeps the fresh baked cookies, and on to the championship goes the Burrell Buccaneers.
Time now for your Played Again Sports Greensburg 3 stars of the game. The number 3 star with the game-tying goal with 18.6 seconds left in regulation was Burrell's Jared Wall. The number 2 star with 2 goals tonight, Dom Petrucci for Morgantown. And your number 1 star in Played Again Sports Greensburg, player of the game, the game-winning goal, the hero of the day, Jacob Rose.
Also, you got to shout out, give the cap tip to Suman tonight. Suman not just great with that big-time assist, but he also was shut down defensively. In so many big situations, we saw Suman make big plays as well in this game. But Holm, deflected by Bear, Rose, forehand, backhand. That time, Lowe just unable to get a piece. And that's a tough way to end the season. But defending no more, so that means a new champion this year in D2.
So Burrell moves on. The winner will take on the winner of our next game here on TenbandTV Monday night, March 16th, 8:45 p.m. at the UPMC Lemieux Complex. We'll have it for you here on TenbandTV. Don't go anywhere. We got one more coming up for you. Final score here in Game 1 of the D2 semifinals. Burrell with the comeback. They beat Morgantown 3-2 in overtime. You're watching the 2026 PIHL High School Hockey Playoffs. The road to the Penguins Cup and D2 Championships is on TenbandTV.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
Boda around the horn, it goes to the far side now. Brandon Custer chips it to the point, can't get it, long shot, glove save, and Lowe holds on that left point try. Burke before the game, it's one of the things he talked about. The key for this Buccaneers team is to neutralize these big guys who are out there now. Petrucci to the net, score! Dom Petrucci with the steal, the backhander, and the first tally of the night goes to the Mohawks. Alex, I was just to make the first game and this game is that Cooper Cox, as we get a chance back for the Bucks, and a wrister there by Ryan Burkett goes into the mesh. Cooper Cox got a game. It's an unassisted tally. Here comes Taliani back the other way, a 2-on-1 developing. Taliani all the way to the net, save made, and the net off the moorings as we get some pushing and shoving after the play.
Create some space on the offensive side.
Clean face-off win, centering feed, backhander, save made, rebound kept out as Jacob rose from that face-off win from Alex's zone. Bucks back the other way, trying to take it coast to coast. Dante Taliani, wrister coming. Save made, but not knowing where the rebound was low. Now back the other way comes Colton Boda. Boda has a man back to defend. Boda drags. Boda shoots. Good recovery by Max Snyder. And the puck ends up on net and in. Boda got the last stick on it, so the Bucks get one back. A fluky tally, but Burrell will take it. And we're tied at 1 with 7:09 left in the opening period.
His first in the playoffs, scored by number 22, Colton Boda.
Rosa bringing it back, drops it back. Taliani to the net, and this one's handled cleanly. Back to the neutral zone. Fed back to the net. No goal. The Bucks were offsides, and it's waved off. The linesman had his arm up the whole way, and that goal deflected in, but it's not going to count. It was offsides. Trying to go 1-on-2. Tries to work around Sheftick. Nice job by Sheftick to cut him off, then body up. Pushed to the net by Nelson, and the save made by Seth Munda. Right circle, Cox tries to put it in front. Well defended again. Burrell's Cooper Suman gets it. Centering try, and it's covered up with traffic in front by Seth Munda.
Morgantown, their most lethal in the second period this year. 46 goals, 16 against for the Bucks. As a save there by Munda. That's the most.
Smith with the lead feed at the left side. Petrucci off the bench. Here comes Petrucci looking it over. Tough angle shot. And I'm not sure if Munda got a piece of it or not, but it ends up in the meshing. A little bit of momentum. Penalty coming up as a Buck has the stick knocked out of his hand. We'll see our first power play of the night. Morgantown touches up, and that will send Burrell to the man advantage. Snyder off the left side. Perkin, who's been out here for the whole power play. Drag, shoots, save made by Lowe, and he holds. So after a lot of trying to set up, tries to put it on. Good block by Morgantown's Justin Daffner. Back to the right point, sets it, rips it, Pat, save made on that try there from Cooper Suman. Later, 2/3 of that period is this centering feed in the slot, push to the net wide. Tough angle try, Lowe closes the door as Burkett tried to push it in off of Rose's follow-up.
Since that moment.
We remain tied at 1 with under a minute. Fed to the net, save made as Taliani got that through with about 3 bodies in front. Lowe may not have seen it, and loose puck right on the paint, and it's covered up, and the whistle sounds. As some tense moments there for the Mohawks late in the second period.
Strike early here. Again, you just got rest for your 2 lines.
Ask and you shall receive. Dom Petrucci, number 2 on the night. And the Mohawks strike 48 seconds into this third period. Alex Pruff the other way, lead feed up the right side. Taliani centers, has a man to the net. Save made. Great chance there for Rosa. Stretching out to the right was Ryan Lowe. 5 minutes gone by here in this third period. Custer 1-on-2. Has a trailer now. Gets it on the stick of his man. The shot put on by Daffner. The door closed by Munda, who needed a circle. Boda with a good diving play by Snyder, though, to break it up. He had a trailer going to the net. That was Jared Wall. Wall in front. Backhander. Big save made. As Petrucci back the other way has Cox with him. Petrucci to Cox. Save made. Munda keeps the Bucks deficit 1 with a big save there. Point-to-point pass, shot through traffic, deflects wide. Centering feed, and covering it up is Lowe. He'll take no chances on that one as a couple of Bucks were camped out in front. Look at Petrucci. From center red, brings it back. Petrucci, tough angle try again, save made. And Munda stretching out, diving to cover that rebound with Cox bearing down. Trying to work through a double team. Spinning away is home. Snyder at the right point, goes to the left side, setting it up there. Suman skates around everybody. Suman takes it low, and it's in! Burrell gets the equalizer with 18.6 seconds left in regulation. I think Jared Wall may have been the last man to touch it, but the Bucks tie it.
All night long. Why not one more?
Face-off 1, centering try by Petrucci, banging away to tell it. And it is kept out. Petrucci leads an odd man rush. Petrucci drags, and a great defensive job by Suman getting back. Petrucci finds it, centers. Munda, huge save there. Suman, point-to-point pass. Right try, blocked. Loose puck in front. Nobody knows where it is. In front. Huge save, a season saver by Ryan Lowe. Here comes Rose. To Baird. One-timer, blocker, save made. Follow-up try. Rose's backhander goes wide. And now to keep the Mohawks season alive. Taliani takes it strong to the net, but can't get it through. Home from the point. Redirects through traffic. Save made. Rebound, score! Jacob Rose, the game-winning goal in overtime. The Burrell Bucks get revenge. They defeat Morgantown in the semifinals, and the Bucks are on their way to the 2026 Division II Championship next Monday night in Cranberry. Alex Brett-Michaels said it best. Every rose has its thorn, and this time, Morgantown feels the sting.
Defending no more. And, you know, I love what we just saw.
Don't go anywhere. We got one more coming up for you. Final score here in Game 1 of the D2 semifinals. Burrell with the comeback. They beat Morgantown 3-2 in overtime. You're watching the 2000.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh. It's a great day for PIHL hockey.